stand your ground or you're too comfortable to too settled. Listen, I'm never giving up. When you hit rock bottom, it's only one way to go. Listen, I'm never giving up. Everybody got problems, how you handle them, no. Yeah, listen.
Hey, I'm John.
And I'm Jonathan.
Welcome to the Formula.
Hey guys, we have a special guest with us today. This young lady's book is phenomenal. We had a chance as a production group to read the book. The book is phenomenal. Like, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. You know, I fell asleep trying to read all of it. It's just amazing, man. It's just amazing. So we have Lyric Spencer in the place today.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you so much for taking the time, because we really appreciate it.
Great. So you guys enjoyed the book. That's great.
Absolutely.
We did.
Absolutely. So Lyric has a book called Pick Me. And I promise you guys want to pick this book up for sure. For sure. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it digitally or paperback or hardback, right?
Yeah. Yes,
Like,
it's available on Kindle and paperback. And then also, if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, you can essentially read the book for free.
that is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what inspired you to become a writer, become an author, write novels?
Well, for nearly 20 years, I had a career in television news. I wrote news for ABC, CNN. I also worked briefly with Al Roker in his production company. So I've been writing for a long time in more of a hard news capacity. And then when I essentially retired from the news business, because it just became, we're bombarded every day with so much bad news and negativity. And it really took its toll on my health. And my husband had been urging me to quit my job. He said, just quit. He was like, just stay home, stay home with our son. I only had one son at the time. And he said, you can do it. I'll hold us down. And, I had a great career. I went to college for this, and I worked in that field for so many years. It was really hard for me to let go until I became pregnant. And while I was 5 months pregnant, they discovered that I had a humongous tumor on my right kidney that was cancerous. So I was diagnosed with cancer at 5 months pregnant.
Oh, no.
I was devastated, but I kept my mind together, and I stayed positive, and, I kept up with all my appointments. I ate healthy, but, that diagnosis really made me take a look at my life and what changes I needed to make. So once I left that career and I had more time to be with my family, I just sat down and I was inspired to write a book. And then I had to make a decision on what I wanted to write about, what I was interested in. And of course, I was interested in relationships between men and women and that dynamic. And, for so many years, I worked so hard at my career when all I really wanted was a family. All I really wanted was to be a mom and a wife. But also, I was reared to have this idea that, you need to have your own money, you need to have your own career, and all that is fine, but there's ways to have your own money and your own career and be able to stay home with your family as long as your spouse is able to hold you down. So I dove into some research, and I found a lot of great, informative people, and I've heard of so many stories, as we all have, online, and there's all these memes, and I'm in a mom's group, and they have all these horror stories. So a lot of that stuff inspired me to write Pick Me, and why we as women do the things we do in our relationships, and what we could be doing differently that would benefit our relationship, benefit our family, our man, and us.
As a woman, I can
Shocker.
definitely say
Shocker.
that there was so much about each of the characters that was so relatable. Like, there were parts of it that I related to personally, like some things that I've done and things that I've seen like in other people where it's like, oh, that reminds me of such and such. You know, the characters felt so much more real than
Right.
in some other books because it felt 100% like people that I knew.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's genuine, and I'm hearing that a lot. That the characters are very, very relatable because the characters are all of us. They're every woman, especially if you are ambitious. You're an ambitious woman, and you know you got your stuff going on for you. It's like it can be hard to find. You know, it can be hard to find a decent guy.
Mm-hmm.
And just real quick, I'm glad you quit your career when you did, because can you imagine if you was still doing that right now?
Gosh.
And with what's going on, it's
Let me
just
tell you
I can't
something.
imagine.
I haven't worked in 3 years now. You know, outside of the home.
Mm-hmm.
I write books. I run my blog, and you know, I do different things. But it's been 3 years, and the first year after the 2016 election was extremely stressful. Prior to that, you know, we have all these unarmed killings, shootings of Black men, not just by the police, because George Zimmerman was not a police officer. So all of those things really took its toll, and I really believe, nobody would say this, no doctor would say this, but I really believe that was all, the cancer was a result of compounded stress, negativity, and despair. So I'm really happy and proud that my husband rescued me from all of that, even though he's been urging me for years. But I'm happy that, I'm happy that I got out of that too. So thank you.
That's well, and yeah, does that, with your background, does that kind of pull you into the news, like that want to be reading the news?
I don't watch the news anymore. Yeah, I don't watch the news anymore. I got to be honest with you. And my mother is very involved politically in the state of Florida, for the Democratic campaign. And, she's like appalled, like, how do you not know what's going on? But I've decided for my own health and sanity that I need to stay away from the news. I get whatever little bits and pieces through social media. You can't, some of the things you cannot help but to know about. Right. So I get my news from social media. Whatever happens to filter through and make its way to me, and I feel sorrow and despair, but it's nothing compared to the daily onslaught. Like I would read tons and tons and tons of bad news, and I'm writing it, so I have to absorb all of that. And then also, it was television. It wasn't newspaper, so it was television. So, as a producer, you're seeing the raw footage of these things. You're seeing the raw footage, and then you edit it down to what you can show on TV. Now with social media, a lot of these raw clips are making its way to people's desktops, and they have post-traumatic stress as well. So, it's like we're all in the same boat, but I was exposed to that on a regular, daily basis for many, many years. But I don't watch the news anymore.
So some of your characters are like loosely based off someone that you know, or maybe in your blog group, right?
Oh, for sure. You were breaking up a little bit there, but I'm thinking you're asking me like if it involves someone that I know.
Yeah.
Or I get news from.
Yeah. Some of your characters in the book is loosely based on someone you know, or someone that's in your Facebook groups and stuff like that.
Oh my goodness, it's based on so many. It's bits and pieces of thousands of women.
Oh, wow.
I'm in this mom's group, and I thought I was good. I thought I was entering this group so I could get advice on like fun things to do with the kids around town, and it just became this a constant bitter gripe about someone's family life, or how much they were working, or their husband, or now because of COVID-19, the kids are learning online. Right? They can't go to school, so these moms are super frustrated because they are now tasked with juggling the homeschooling, right? Even if it's virtual through their public school, they're still at home learning on the computer. So they're tasked with juggling homeschool, and they still have jobs. I don't even know how they're doing it. But I honestly don't see many dads that have the same struggle. The dad goes to work, he does what he needs to do, and it's the mom who's left to figure out homeschool, her job, taking care of the home, taking care of the pets, all these things. It's too much. It's too much, and women are getting sick. And that's something that's in the book as well. A man can work as hard as he wants to and be fine. A man, everyone has stress, but a man's body is completely different from a woman's body. So when you put that level of stress on a woman, we can get through it. We can hack it. We're making it happen, but it's not good for our bodies. Men don't have periods. Men don't have menstrual cycles and cramps and bloating and things like that for an entire week, for 1 month, every month until they go through menopause. Men don't have that. They can grind it out and not stop.
Right.
But I personally believe, I'm not a doctor, but I personally believe that how could a woman possibly endure that level of stress on a daily, monthly, yearly basis to no end? It's too much. It's too much.
And as a mom, how are you handling that? Like, because you have, so I know you had one child. Do you have other children?
Yes. So I had my first son in 2009, and I became pregnant again and had my second son in 2018. So my sons are 11 and 2.
Okay.
And my 11-year-old, I homeschool him. I pulled him out of the public school system as soon as I saw what was going on with this COVID-19 thing.
Okay.
I said, none of the kids. I pulled him out in March. I said, none of the kids are going back to school. It doesn't make any sense. They're not going back to school. I'm home, right? What a blessing. I'm home. Let me pull him out, and we can get this curriculum going. I had to do a lot of research, and a lot of things were on pause with my writing. But I felt like I was fully capable to take on his education, and he's getting an amazing education, better than he ever did in public school.
That's awesome.
Because in public schools, you're able to hide. You're not used to hide from the teacher.
Right. Yeah, you can hide. Yeah, right? Exactly.
Yeah. If you didn't know the answer, and then next week you guys were on to something else.
Right.
But being that he's my only student, I know he doesn't know. And I can focus on him and drill him. And the first week was very difficult for us because he was like, he wasn't used to that. He was just like, this is a lot. Like, can we be done? And I said, no, we're going to get this. And all of his scores, he's getting 90s and 100s on all of his math, science, reading. He's doing so well because he can't hide from me. So I know where the cracks are in his education. And right now, there are none. It's just going so great. And I'm learning a lot about myself, too, as a person, not just as a mom, but as a person, as a wife. And, there's still things to juggle in the home, but the fact that I don't have to work outside of the home is a huge, huge, huge game changer.
So your book is a page turner. It seems like you have a fast writing style. Did you have to learn that, or did it just come naturally in the process of?
I think it came from news, because the thing is, I didn't have in my head I want to write like this author, or I want to be like this person. I didn't have that in my head. So essentially, the way I write is raw. There's no training for a book. I've never written a book before. There's no training or anything like that, and I don't have a plan or a strategy for how I'm going to write the book. I sit down and I just write. And I was told that that is one of the hardest ways to write a book, but that comes naturally to me. And I think it came from my news background. You know, I had a few hours to put together a news story that had all the information and cram it and jam pack it into a 3-minute piece, a 3-minute spot, you know, and just people want the information. They want they want the information fast and quick, and they want to be able to understand it quickly. So I think that's why my book reads the way it does. And I think that's why people are calling it a page turner, because you can open the book at any page, and if you start reading from there, you're not going to want to stop.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be like, and then what happened? And then what happened? Oh my God, no, she didn't. What happened next? Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I've so many. The book was just released over the summer, and I'm doing some promotion for it. But all the women that have bought it so far, they say that they read it in one sitting.
Mm-hmm.
I almost read it in one day.
Yeah, me too.
Because
it
you
took
had
me 2
stuff
days.
to do.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Otherwise, I would have literally read it in one day.
Right.
That's
And it's
crazy.
literally
And
like one of those books that you talk to yourself while you're reading it. Like, oh, don't do that. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
like,
come
on. What are you doing? Like, oh my
Why?
God.
like, why? And you guys, wait, so you guys, you read the book, you're men, and you still were like, what are you doing,
Yeah.
sis?
Yeah, cause
Oh,
just the decisions they were making, it was like I could have told you not to do that.
right.
Come on,
Just
bro.
as a person.
You should have left that dude
Yeah.
long time ago. Like, come on.
Yes. I had
I love
flashbacks
it.
of like my early 20s of being like, see, I know what such and such did that.
I'm
Look
like,
what happened to you.
I'm like, man, there's more people like, there's more dudes like John out here. Go get you a John.
Right, exactly. And there are, and this is what I'm going to get into with book 2, right? There are great guys out there. How do you find them? Right? I don't consider myself a relationship guru or anything like that. I'm a researcher, right?
But
Just
you
like
are married.
yes, I am married.
So you know how to catch him.
But I do the research. I'm going to compile it just like as if it were a news story.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be in book 2. Where are these guys? How do you find them? What should we be doing as women to position ourselves and present ourselves in the best light? What are some of the behaviors that we could change, you know, to put our best foot forward if you do want to be that wife, that mother, especially if time is winding down? These ladies in my book are in their 30s, you know, early to mid 30s. And, you know, when you're a woman, like you want to have your career and your family, but when is that supposed to happen? When is all that supposed to happen? You know, like if you're so busy working on your career, chances are you're going to be into your 30s, and then you're going to start wanting to focus on having that child, that first child, or finding a mate. If you don't even have anyone, you know, when is that going to happen? You know, a lot of us feel like it's to find the right person that we really connect with, and, you know, we want to have those feelings of love. That's like lightning striking, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It's like lightning striking, and then that's why when you find that person, you're like, "This is it. This is it." Chances of this happening again, you know. So it can be really hard and frustrating, and then, you know, especially so many women are longing for it, and yeah. So that's what I'm going to focus on in the second book. Also, the theme about leveling up, you know, as a woman. These ladies will level up by the second book, and we're going to see what that looks like, what they've done, how they've changed their behaviors, their mind, their spirit, and things like that. And their grooming habits, right? We all like a woman to take care of herself, right?
There was a really interesting character that you introduced towards the end of the book that I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes, because there were some on the one hand, I was like cheering for it because that's a good way. The way that you did it was a really good way for people to be able to absorb that kind of information. But on the other hand, it's a slippery slope sometimes following somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah,
thought that was
exactly.
really interesting.
Yeah, you just gave me chills because, I know what's in my head for book 2, but, I can't say it, but you just
Yes.
gave me
Yeah.
chills because the thing is, you're talking about Mysterious Six,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
and Mysterious Six is their social media guru
Yeah.
that
Their
Nivea
mentor.
discovered.
It's their new
Yeah,
mentor.
their mentor that
Yeah.
Nivea discovers. She discovers on social media, on YouTube, and they are just becoming slowly obsessed with this woman.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it can be a slippery slope. So, Mysterious Six is dropping jewels for them.
Mm-hmm.
This woman is legit in that she is helping people, right? The character of Mysterious Six is helping people. She's helping many women, and she's getting donations and making all of this money.
There was also
But
like a
what?
sinister feel to what was
Yeah.
going
So
on.
Yeah.
what's she really like? What is she
Yes.
really
Mhm.
like? Who is she really? And that's why, whoever read book 1, and that's why I'm trying to get a lot of promotion out for book 1, because by the time book 2 comes about, we're going to find out more about Mysterious Six and her personal life. So it's going to be really interesting. I'm getting chills.
That's awesome.
I can't wait. Hmm.
One of the major themes, well, it seems like one of the major themes of this book is gender roles. I just wanted to know, like, why'd you go in that direction to really emphasize the idea
Yeah.
of a woman making more than a man, or a woman proposing to a man, things like that.
Hmm. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. Let me see if I can get my thoughts together. So gender roles. There was the whole women's movement, and after World War II, a lot of women went into the workplace, and then when their men came home, they said, "Wait a minute, I like making my own money, right? I like making my own money. I want to go back to work. I don't want to be stuck in this house all day cooking and cleaning and changing poopy diapers. I want to go out to work too." So then, I'm not going to give a history lesson, but fast forward, now the typical American family became a 2-income household and babysitters, right?
Mm-hmm.
2-income household and you're paying a babysitter. The children are neglected, all this stuff. And I feel like decades down the line, women didn't realize there's a balance, right? So I feel like we've gotten far away from what benefited the family. And how do we get back there? Once you do go from a 2-income household where you are making this money, you guys are able to provide for your children, there's vacations and all this stuff. But unless you're really making the big bucks, it doesn't pay. Unless you're making enough money to have the tutor, private school, 24-hour help, right, around the house with the family, it really doesn't pay. And most people are not in that situation where they're making the big bucks to where them working outside of the home is beneficial to the family. Okay, you can rejigger your whole lifestyle and move to a town where it's more affordable, where you don't need both incomes, and then with the computer and the internet, you can make money online. So I just feel like we're moving towards something that that's going to be a whole societal shift. And COVID-19 pushed a lot of that forward because many women were forced to quit their jobs because guess what? The kids need me at home, right? So if they're not making a ton of money, now dad is saying, look, I can pick up another job. It ain't nothing, and that's happening. So the whole thing about the gender roles pre-COVID-19, it was kind of like, it was like a myth. Like, well, is this good or is it bad? Nobody really could speak on it exactly, and it wasn't fair, and everybody had their own opinions about it. But now with COVID-19, you see what the family needs. It's not even a debate. The family needs at least one parent to be home, preferably mom, because dad ain't going to be happy at home. He's not hardwired for that. And that's why we're talking about gender roles. The man is hardwired to provide, bring home the kill, right? If he wanted a family, that's what he wanted to do. His primal instincts are to provide, protect, right, and procreate. And the mom, you know, people get offended, but this is real stuff. My goal, I'm just going to talk about myself then. My primary goals are to make my home lovely, right? Nesting, so that everyone's comfortable and they enjoy their environment. Educating my kids, right? Making sure they're taken care of and cooking healthy meals.
Yeah, nurturing.
Healthyliving.com. You can get some vegan meals there. This is a quick plug, right? So that's why the whole discussion of gender roles is touched on, and it's prevalent in the book because it's important. It's important. And when we stray too far away from that, that's when the family is going to struggle. Okay. And then, what were some of the other things that you mentioned? You talked about, you're asking me about gender roles and.
Well, I want to ask you what would you describe exactly as? I know what I would describe it as. And when the term was used in the book, explaining essentially the title, can you explain like to our audience what a pick-me is?
Okay, sure. Okay, that's so funny. So I can tell by people's inflection when they say the title if they know what a pick-me is, right? So if you say, oh, the Lyric Spencer's book, the title is Pick Me, you don't know what a pick-me is. If you say the title is Pick Me, you know what a pick-me is. So a pick-me, a pick-me, and this is why the title works so well because, you know, it does resonate with everyone because you can look at the title. You see Nifia on her knees proposing. She's got the ring in her hand, and clearly she's saying, "Pick me." But there's another meaning for that phrase, that term, and a pick me essentially is a woman that lowers her standards for the man that she wants, and lowering her standards can mean, you know, maybe he doesn't make, so what if he doesn't make a lot of money? So what if I make more money than him? Or so what if he's abusive? You know, it was just because I made him mad. Or, you know, so what if he's got 5 different baby mamas and kids all over the place? You know, he's sexy and he's handsome and he's a nice guy. We have fun together. Okay, so you are doing things or making bad decisions because you want this man to pick you. So you're a pick me. Okay? I just got chills again. And a lot of women make bad decisions. So when we see the horror stories, okay, and this is on the worst end of it, okay? On the slow end of it, okay, so what, the guy doesn't make as much money as you, but you fell in love with him, whatever, seems pretty harmless. On the most tragic end, we see women who are dating men that are abusing their children. And you know that it's going on, man. So he's abusing the kids. This guy is a piece of, you know, poo emoji. And you're still allowing it. Why? Because the D is good. You're a pick me. And this needs to be talked about because so many women, it's not about what color they are. So many women are willing to put up with a whole host of nonsense because the D is good. Where do we get this from? Where, you know, when did this happen to where penis is everything, the end all be all? This is nuts.
It comes in so many ways. Status.
Yeah.
Scared to be by yourself.
I think a lot of girls equate sex and good sex to love. You know?
Love and affection and attention. You know, and attention. But and maybe you're a young girl, you're early 20s, and you're like, oh, I'm not looking for anything serious. So, you know, I can go out and do this stuff. And this is something else that became a societal shift decades ago. Birth control, right?
Right.
So with the advent of birth control and you being able to control when you wanted to get pregnant, it was, oh, now I can be free and I can explore different things sexually. And I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. I'm just saying this is what happened. And women felt like, well, I don't have to be married by, 19 anymore. I can go out and date different guys and see the world and have sex and be promiscuous, and it doesn't matter, but it does affect your mind and your physiology, and STDs are out there. So there's a lot that came with that, with the women having the freedom or feeling they have the freedom to have many sexual partners. And yeah, that really changed a lot of things. I hope I'm not sounding too preachy, like as if I'm against all of this, because I did my thing too. But what I'm saying is these societal shifts impact our families and our lives more than we could ever know.
And
So yeah, that's what a pick me is.
right. Now, while reading this book, did you ever get yourself in like a writer's block, what people call writer's block at all?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked me that. I don't get writer's block.
That's good.
Oh,
I don't
lucky
get writer's
you.
block. I don't make drafts.
You just write.
When I was doing some research,
You're the Jay-Z of writing.
No,
I get this in one take, right? So I don't get writer's block. I just sit down. I just, sit down when I have the time. So I would say my writer's block is I have to do homeschool. My writer's block is, okay, now, I have to make dinner or order something for my family to eat. Like, not having the time to write is more of an obstacle than what to write. I like other people, when they are talking about like how they write and what they do, they talk about several drafts and this first draft. And what you're reading is what I wrote. Like, that's the story right there. There's no second draft. I didn't keep changing things. I kept adding, but yeah, I don't get writer's block. It just doesn't happen. I might, if a thought comes to me or an idea comes to me, or if I come across something on social media, it might be like a funny meme or a girl power kind of meme. I might write that down in my iPhone and take notes, like, oh yeah, I want to touch on that, I want to incorporate that, and I'll keep my notes, so that way when I do sit down and write, it's already there. But the dialogue and the feelings that the character has, all that comes to me naturally. And when I think it comes from my news background as well, because there's no time to have writer's block. Your story needs to be ready to go on air at the stroke of the hour. Right. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You need to make that deadline. I set the deadline for this book to be released May 28th on my birthday, and that's what happened.
I think no writer's block. I think you having that background in news really helps you with the writing. Because I can't do that. I can't just sit down and write and just go. Like I have to do some preparation, some kind of outline, some kind of preparation before, or I write notes, or something before I.
And even then, you could still have writer's block because you're like, well, what happens next, or what should I do? But so it just poured out of me. At one point, I was like, and as I was writing, I was making myself laugh. Like, there's funny points in the story too, It's emotional, it's funny, and it's informative. And I was making myself laugh so much. And then I was telling myself, I was like, God is writing this book. God is writing this book right now.
It seems, I'm sorry, it seems very authentic. It just seemed to flow really well.
Yeah, I was like, the book is writing itself.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And then, if I came across something like this one woman, she was talking about how in one of the mom groups the mom group, I'm telling you, like if you, oh my God,
bet. I bet.
If you want to know what women like really need from their husbands, join a mom's group, okay? So one of the moms was like, oh, she said, ladies, tell me if I'm crazy or not. My daughter is outside playing, and my husband was outside with her, and he was fixing this or doing that. And then he came inside and left her outside. The daughter was really young. Not like she should not be outside alone. So her husband came inside. So then she goes outside and she's like, well, you know, where's the little girl? Let's just call her Casey. Where's Casey? And he's like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to be watching her.
Whoa.
And the woman was livid. She was just like, this is nuts. And things like that can just be so frustrating. But, you know, and then this is when you get back to the general. Why did he do that? Why is she upset? He clearly stated to her, I didn't know I was supposed to be watching. So he is the type of husband that he needs to be asked to watch these children.
He the type of husband that say he's babysitting his own children.
Yeah, thank you. So then I'm in the mom's group, and I'm just, like I said, I just wanted some tips on where to take the kids for the weekend, you know, some free fun things to do around the city. And here's this woman and many others that are like posting gripes. So then I'm just like, oh my God. And then they get me fired up. And then I'm like, you know what? This is going to be in the book. This is going to happen to somebody in this book. So it could be something like that. It's just like, oh my God.
I love how you touched on that in the book, because it was very real. And I know people who it's happened to exactly the same way it happened to that character in the book.
Yeah, this is real talk.
Yelling at the book at some point. It's like, come on! Are you serious?
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. This book is real talk and real tea. I'm not a social media guru. You know, Mysterious Six is not me. Mysterious Six is all of the help and support that women seek online. You see what happens to Nivea, where she hit that low breaking point, and she did what we all do. Google, you know, we start Googling. We start looking for stuff, you know, we just, and that, I mean, I'm 40 years old, and, you know, I didn't grow up with the internet. I didn't grow up with Google. And it has just been the most amazing thing that could have ever happened to us all. We're diagnosing ourselves. We're seeking help. You know, Oprah's off the air, so where are you going to get your self-help from, you know? And you can go online, and there's all these really, really great people. Mysterious Six is not a real person. She's a compilation of all of the people on social media that promote femininity, hypergamy, and just living your best life and leveling up.
Yeah, it's crazy because just reading the book, it's almost, I think about when I talk to like young ladies at work or something like that. And it seems like that's the ratio of, your book is the ratio of good men out there too. Like, there's not a good dude in the book. Except that one. There's that one good dude in the book, right? One good dude in the book. That's the dude that the girl don't want.
Oh yes, yes.
That's the ratio. That's always the ratio right there. You know.
Yeah. Speak on it. Exactly.
You know,
because he's not the fun one, right? He's not the fun one. He's not the brolic one. He's not the one that's in the gym getting ripped. You know, he's not the sexy brother, whatever.
He's smart. He's smart. He ain't hood.
He's kind.
You know, he'll do things for.
He full disclosure. He kind of reminds me of me.
That's good.
Because and I was reading and I was like, yeah, he's the nice guy. Nice guys never get the girl.
That's not true though.
That is true.
That ain't true.
That is true. It ain't completely true, but
it's true, but it's not exactly. Nothing is 100%. But you know, like you said, the ratio. Like we're gonna talk about ratios. Like you gotta be honest. The night, like when they say, why would they say nice guys finish last?
Right.
You know, a lot of young people nowadays don't even know these expressions and sayings because it's not in a meme. Okay,
Right.
they know what it means. But for the most part, the nice guy finishes last, and that's why I introduced that character of Peter, because she has someone in her life that is essentially in love with her.
Yes,
Right.
and she can level up.
Right.
And he's a lawyer.
Yeah,
Right.
so
and she don't want no parts of him.
she can
like,
level
none.
up with that
She
guy.
don't want,
Oblivious.
she don't want no parts. She don't want no parts. She could marry Peter and be done with it.
Yeah.
And on another vein, there's a part of the book that Jonathan and I were talking about, and I waited until the guys were like deep into the book before I read it, because I didn't want to taint anything that any thoughts of theirs by what I had to say about it. And there was one part of the book that was like a cringe moment, a break your heart moment, and I'm so glad that you put that in, because
Which part?
The big cringy scary
yes,
moment of
the scariest moment in the book.
Oh, okay.
And we don't want to give it
she's
away.
Scrambling on the floor.
Yeah,
when she's scrambling on the floor, right?
No, not that part. There's a part where something really awful happens.
Yeah,
to
that
one
she's
of the
talking
girls.
about that part.
Okay. Right.
Right. Yeah, we saw that part, and I'm so glad that you put that in, because some of these girls don't realize that things are not happening to them because they're lucky. That bad things don't just happen in scary movies. They happen in real life. And you have to be really careful, you know, and just the questions that she asked herself afterwards, I thought was just a great way for you to come at that kind of subject.
And that's real life. That's how people will ask those questions about themselves. They start doubting themselves, and it's like, yeah,
that was great.
What did I do to make that happen? Wow, thank you so much. Wow, I really hope people enjoy this book, and not enough people know about it. You know, I haven't really, put my money where my mouth is, just to make sure that everybody across the country knows about Pick Me. I'm just learning about myself and my writing style, and some people know about the book, a lot of people don't, but I believe that if a lot of people knew about this book and the series that I'm about to pen, they would really love it, and they would really fall in love, and they would really learn a lot about themselves, more so than they would ever get from any other relationship book that we've seen thus far. Because I'm talking about a whole lot of different things in one, in one book. But I plan to write. I feel like there was there was a deficit. There was a huge lack in stories for women of color, right? Where we experience the finer things in life. Okay, where's our pretty woman? Maid in Manhattan. That was a cute movie, but she was a maid.
Right.
Okay. Black and Latino, and women of color have awesome careers. We're not all wage workers. We have great careers. We have businesses. We have online boutiques. These girls are getting their money out here. So when do they experience a relationship in which they are spoiled, pampered? And that's what book 2 is going to be all about, because these ladies are going to get what's coming to them. They're going to get their just desserts. There's going to be obstacles. Mysterious Six is going to be there. But we're going to start seeing some pampering big time because we deserve it. And I came across a meme the other day. It said something like, you don't have to apologize for wanting to be spoiled and pampered as a Black woman. Because we're not given permission to be soft. We have to always be on guard and always hold everybody down. That is BS. That is BS. You can be spoiled in a relationship, lady. Even I was guilty of it. I wouldn't allow, when my husband said quit. I didn't allow myself to fall back and say, oh, he's got me. Because I needed to hold everything down. I need to hold it down. And I would ask my colleagues, I only have friends from work, right? So I would ask my friends, I would say, how come you don't seem like you are bothered by all this? How come you How come you can take it and I feel like I can't? Because I was suffering at work. I said, how come you're able to handle this? And she said, I'm not. I'm not able to handle all of this. I'm tired. I'm upset. I'm destroyed by all of this news. But I come to work because I have bills to pay.
Yeah,
and it's just like, wow, I thought I was weak, you know? But be falling back from my career and doing other things that allow me to stay home with my kids, that's where I'm being strong.
And I think that's where, like, I mean, get your opinion on this. You kind of went back in history a little bit for us and how women started to work. I think
a little bit, because I don't have all the facts. I haven't done all my research on that, and I don't want to sound ignorant, you know?
Absolutely.
But what I do know,
But what I think is some women are so used to, you know, fending for themselves because maybe they had a terrible childhood with parents and stuff, so they so used to fending for themselves. And then when a man coming along that try to pamper them, or like you said, try to get them to quit work so they can handle everything, you be at home, it's like they push them away.
They reject that.
They reject that. It's like, and then the dude don't want to feel soft because they trying to do this for a woman that don't want that. Because it's kind of like it's always a battle. It's a battlefield of the minds. It's always a battle there.
Yeah, because why is he trying to get me to do nothing?
Right.
Right? I can speak on both ends. Why is he trying to get me to do nothing? Why is he trying to get me to be dependent on him?
Right.
And it's like, that's not what it's about. Once you start to really think about it and get into that feminine space, that's not what it's about. By the time, if he, and you're not just going to follow somebody blindly, he's got to show what he's talking about. You know, what he's offering you, he's got to prove that, you know? But if everything is legit and this is a man of his word and this is what he's saying that he wants to provide for you and it's 100%, once you learn how to live in that space, the family is going to just skyrocket. You know, by me falling back from my career, what if this book becomes a movie on Netflix? What if somebody wants to buy this story?
I'll watch that.
Hey, look, I already that was something I was going to bring up.
I was going to ask you.
Tyler Perry better get ready for this.
Yeah, because I'm like, yo, can somebody call up Tika something, because I want her to see one of the characters, you know?
Let her do it.
But it's like, well, would this happen? Would this level of wealth be able to come into my family if I wasn't able to explore this? I have time to explore this now, you know? It's not all the time in the world. I still have to carve out time for myself and self-care. Every time I see that hashtag self-care Sunday, I'm just like, damn, wouldn't that be nice, you know, to just be soaking in the tub and like rubbing my body with oils? But I don't always have time for that either. But there's more time than there was before when I was chasing behind my paycheck. Because there's more money out here to get, you know, as they say, you know, in like hoe tactics, those books, there's more hoeing to do. There's more to get. There's more to get. And it's not about being dependent on a man. It's about, you know, what he can provide for you and then what you can provide for yourself.
So as I was reading your book, I had a very clear visual of everything that was going on. So great. I was going to ask you if someone offered you, you know, a shot to make this into a movie or make this series into a movie, it sounds like you would be up for that.
I would love that. And I'm not sure if I should even pursue that or just let the universe take care of that or let that come to me. But, you know, this is a story that, I mean, have you seen the story? I mean, you know, have you seen this story anyplace? Is this a movie?
No.
This is the most
You know what I mean? Is this a movie someplace?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good television series.
I will watch that for sure. And I mean, of all of the things that Netflix is giving so many shows a shot right now. Put this on and take off Cutie.
Yes.
You know, like,
yes, dude.
But so do you guys, so I'm a first time author, right? Do you guys think that, you know, I shouldn't be looking for something like to happen if I don't have all 3 books written?
No. I think you should go ahead.
But you write fast though. Like You the Jay-Z of writing, son.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, you could probably
You
combine all 3 books into one movie. But
I would watch it.
But
as
you
a
could.
series.
I like the series better though.
You could do like half hour, 45-minute series.
You just
like 45 minutes
people,
per episode.
People waiting every week to just clamoring just to get to the next episode. Because
you remember that space that like that space that girlfriends filled. You know, that time, you know, of when we had more shows that...
And Living Single.
Yes. That
right?
space.
Remember all those good shows?
Yes.
Yeah.
I see this...
Where they all had their careers.
I see this book filling that space in a show. I could see that. With those characters, with it being positive Black characters with real flaws... You know, with real jobs, with real things that actually happen to people, happening to them, you know, and exploring those gender roles in a different way, and you know, all of the things you're saying are facts, and it's like to be in that position, to allow men to do that, you have to trust him to give up to essentially give up some of the control. And it's a balancing act. It's true, because at the same time, you don't want to emasculate somebody who's only trying to take care of you, but it's hard when that's all you know. You know, if all you know is hurt people. So it's, you know, about breaking that whole cycle. And I will sign up to watch that show.
And to protect ourselves, our mamas told us, make sure you have your own money, right? Like, let's say you went out on a date with a guy and they said, make sure you have that money in case he leaves you stranded in the street. Make sure you have money to get yourself a cab. Like, what the heck? But these are survival tactics. But it gets in your head, it becomes part of your personality, and you get to a point where you're not about to let a man even have that kind of power over you because you can't take care of yourself. But there's ways to live in that space, because it's not just that cut and dry. You know, and to be trusting of a man. You can't just let go for anybody, you know, it's true. But there was a point in the book where Nivea, where Jay does give Nivea a gift, and she tells him, you can't afford this. You can't afford this, take it back. And he never gave her anything again.
And it came from a good place. What she was trying to do came from a good place, but she did it in a way that was emasculating to him.
Yep, that's right. She emasculated him. And then what did he do? You know, we're not going to give everything away, but what did he do? He couldn't be a man for her.
Right.
So he was a man for somebody else.
Thank you. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. The way he was doing it was trifling, though.
And what was that? He punished her for it.
Yeah, that was trifling.
He punished her for it.
Yep, he punished her for it. Yep, he punished her for it. And that's what she said, after all the things that I did for him, and it was like, oh, was it things that you did to him?
Right.
Was it the things you did for him, or was it things you did to him? Because women are naturally giving, right? So we do want to give, and like on Christmas, if his head doesn't pop off, I didn't do my job. You know, for his birthday, like, it was really expensive, but he wanted this VR headset. It was super expensive, and his birthday was right in the middle of COVID-19, full quarantine lockdown. So I couldn't give him the birthday party outside at some fun zone place. You know, we couldn't go anywhere. So I got him the VR headset, and I don't want to say, but he just gave me that emotional response that you want as a mom, you know, and it felt so good, you know. And I broke him down, but it felt so good because we're naturally giving. Yeah, but we're naturally giving like that, and you need to, we need to be told or taught, or it needs to be said someplace that men want you to receive a lot of time. A lot of times,
all of us boys want to feel that way when we was kids.
Well, you're a lady, right? Yeah. The way I feel like how I want to give to my kid and want that response, like, oh my God, I did it, you know, I got him. So you as a man want that response from your lady, like, oh my God, honey, I love it.
Right.
So much, I can't believe it. You got this. I can't believe it, right? You guys want that. Wow. I didn't know that. I just know from my perspective as a mom. But see, like, there are men that just want you to receive, babe. Just receive.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like I would love to see this go. Really, I would love to see this to go the way that like Issa Rae went. You know what I mean? Like even if you had to do it yourself, kind of like what she did, like online, because online is like you really don't need a production company nowadays. You just you can do the things online, and then all of a sudden you on HBO.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You on,
and you know what?
It was Awkward Black Girl first, and then now it's Insecure. You know where it's like it's Pick Me Now, and who knows what it's gonna be.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, but you guys got the first interview, right?
Yeah. Thank you. So what can we expect in the next installment of this series?
Oh my God.
And but let me just say, Mysterious 6.
I don't know about her, man. I don't know, man. Like I don't. It's like it's because like she's on point on some things, but then some things she's like way off to me. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know if I could trust her like that. Yeah.
She's like Dr. Sebi mixed with Creflo Dollar.
Yeah. Some things she seems really extreme, right?
Yeah. So
so because it kind of cut a little bit because it's like, yo, like. I'm black. I'm a black man. I don't get these opportunities that these are. So then, like sometimes the women might want to look outside the race where this nation is more opt for the other race to actually get to that place where they could be like chill. I'm gonna do everything. We're gonna go travel. I got my own jet. I mean, how many black dudes got their own jet?
Right. And
thank you. Exactly.
And on top of that, it's like the idea of leveling up. It's like that sounds like a woman that I would not be interested in, to be honest, because I don't mind a woman that wears their hair natural. I don't mind a woman that's just
I love the natural hair
in t-shirt. Just wears t-shirts.
Sounds completely different.
Right. It's leveling up means
you said I don't mind, and you said I love. So it makes a difference. You know what I'm saying?
But like if I see a woman that's leveled up, quote unquote, that I don't find that attractive.
Leveling up could be emotional.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In the book, it's more
physical in the book.
Yeah.
Like she's like,
it's
it's
like let me pamper myself. Yeah.
It's what Mysterious pushing. So if you read the back of the book, it says the ladies quickly realize the error of their ways. They begin an epic level of journey, right? And it says as it is defined by Mysterious 6.
You see, Mysterio already got us in here fighting.
You see?
Yeah. She's a good character because I don't trust her, but she's a good character.
It's like, well, if leveling up means that I need to relax my hair, I'm not about that. Leveling up means something different for each person, and that is touched on. I've already written that part. It's touched on in the second book, and I say that each of the women are deciding what leveling up means for them. And then I start to go into what each woman wants out of their level up journey, because there are a lot of women that are on their level up journey, and there's a lot of women that are on a level up journey, and it ain't got nothing to do with no man.
Right.
It's talking about in their careers, that they're talking about, look, this year with my business, I'm going to put this money behind it. I'm going to look this part. Because let me tell you something. When I first started out in my career, I was working at J. Crew simultaneously. And I was buying all those J. Crew clothes. I was not saving any money. I was buying all those J. Crew clothes. But that really helped me level up in my career because I looked the part.
Right.
I had the blazers. I had the collar shirts. I looked good. I looked the part. I looked preppy. And they saw me as, that person in that role, that producer. And then everything that happened to me was like, all right, Tiffany can do it, this one, and that's the next thing. And I just kept leveling up. So leveling up can mean all types of different things. But like you said, we need to watch out for Mysterious 6, because what is she preaching and pushing on these ladies that they are falling for?
Yeah,
she's helping people, but there's something, like you said, you feeling it, right?
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different though. You know what I mean? It's something that's is very contrary to what they've their journey so far. So it's like we got to find something different, like that's going to get us to the place that we want to be, because they know where they want to be.
Right. but they're desperate for anything. They're desperate for any help because their moms don't know. Their moms can't help them. Their moms, single mom, raised them single mom, right? So they don't know. Their homegirls are dealing with the same nonsense, so they don't know. Nobody knows. So they're going to be on Mysterious Six's jock. And in book 2, we're going to find out exactly what that woman is really about. We're going to find out more about her home life. Won't that be interesting?
I know she's up to something. I know she's up to
what's
something.
going on in her house, though?
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm really looking forward to it.
So yo, get us that copy as soon as you finish, son.
Yeah, right.
So, is there going to be any merch attached to any of this? Because I could see people running around in Mysterious Six t-shirt.
Yeah, or Pick Me Sick t-shirt,
or a Krusty. I want a Krusty t-shirt.
Yeah, Krusty. I'm with Krusty's t-shirt. That's what you need to put on your t-shirt. I'm with Krusty.
Right. Well, okay, so it's interesting because in the real world, right? Women are referring to these men as dusty.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, right? You've heard that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
She's a dustpan, right? She's a dustpan, which is basically saying that the girl is, she just likes these kind of guys, and she's a pick-me or whatever, right? But for some reason, I just wanted to change it for the book so I could have something of my own. Not that I was just completely imitating life.
I liked it.
So it's like, he's crusty. Like,
I like it. And dude had crusty lips, too. You know what I'm talking about?
And she still kissed
him, still kissing him.
Still kissed him. That happened to me. Well, I didn't kiss him, but it happened to me. And this is way before I got married. But the guy, he seemed to really like me. He was sweet. He was a cop. And, he really did try to kiss me at the end of that date. And I was like, why are you going to try to kiss me? And his lips are crusty.
Crusty.
And then I was so mad at my cousin. She's going to hear this. I wonder if she remembers. She's the one who set me up with the guy. And I remember feeling so mad at her. Like, that's the type of dude she thinks I would be interested in.
Crusty?
I was so mad. Yeah, crusty. I was so mad. She was like, he's nice. You didn't like him? I was like, oh, my God. But see, again, so at the time, she was like, he got his own house. Or like, he was well advanced, He was more advanced than I was. I was a young girl. I was just starting out. And she was like, he has
bought him some chapstick.
Yeah, she was like, he got his own house and all this stuff. But I wasn't trying to get that. I didn't care what he had.
Right.
I wanted a guy who was attractive, had soft lips. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the soft lips is important.
Yeah, like I was not in that mindset. I was not thinking about his house and his cars and him being whatever years on the force. Like, I didn't care. His lips were crusty. Like,
right.
But I promised. I kept saying that this book, the first book, I kept writing like on my. On Instagram, I was saying this book is going to be epic. It's going to be epic. And I feel the second one is going to be epic too. And I don't want to rush it. I just wanted to have the same energy that I put into, the first book, the first Pick Me, and the second. The first book is called Pick Me, Feminine Metamorphosis. Right? So that's book 1. And the subtitle for the second one, I'm toying with some different things now, but I'm thinking it's going to be, I don't know. I don't even want to give it away. I'm not even going to give it away.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I'm messed up because I had y'all on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
So,
oh, yeah.
Well, either way, we are all looking forward to the next installment.
Absolutely.
Can't wait. It sounds really good. And thank you for coming on to the show.
I appreciate that.
When you become, when you on HBO and all that stuff, just remember the first interview.
Yeah. Don't forget about us when you make it big.
Let us get another, let's get a second round on that interview,
That's right. And then, I mean, I don't even know how to make those things happen yet. So I'm just trying to focus on my craft right now. So I really thank you guys for this opportunity to even talk about it. It's my very first interview, my very first book. But I think I'm just gonna keep moving forward. Just keep pushing forward. There's nothing else to do out here.
Let us walk in the background, like in the episode. Just let us walk in the background at a mall or something. If you got a mall scene, we could be one of the million people in the mall. You know, that'd be cool.
And for a first time writer, this is like amazing.
Oh yeah,
you have
it's
found
amazing.
Your calling.
You have really like.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I'm smiling from ear to ear, really. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So make sure you follow us, subscribe, like, share the Formula Production on Instagram and on Twitter. And Lyric Spencer, we can find you on Instagram at Lyric Spencer Books. Is that correct?
That's right. Lyric Spencer Books on Instagram, lyricspencerbooks.com, and the book Pick Me by Lyric Spencer is on Amazon in Kindle and paperback form.
Make sure y'all go cop that.
Yeah, you'll love that for sure.
Seriously. All right. Till next time, faith, dream, hustle, repeat.
That's the formula.
Don't ever let them bring you down, cause then you be on a level. Listen, I'm never giving up. Stand your ground, don't get too comfortable or too settled. Listen, I'm never giving up. When you hit rock bottom, it's only one way to go. Listen, I'm never giving up. Everybody got problems, how you handle them, no. Yeah, listen.